and welcome back again to Lavender Coco Kitchen. Today I'm really excited to introduce Lawrence, who is my special guest today. So welcome, Lawrence.
Thank you.
And I've heard that you are thinking more about healthy eating.
So this year I've been trying to get into shape and kind of kick some bad eating habits. So I think today's going to be a good learning curve for myself. So
oh, great. And I hear you have watched a few of my videos.
I have, yes. Yeah. So I've tried to make the Snickers bar.
Right.
Didn't go so well, but practice makes perfect.
Yeah, well, yeah, I want to say some recipes you do have to practice a few times. So if it doesn't work out exactly right at first, just keep trying until you get it right. And of course, even though it didn't go so well, I bet the flavour was still good.
It was good. It was good.
That's good to hear. Yeah. So these things, they still taste good even if they don't always work out. So today we're going to do a cake. And I was thinking of doing a white chocolate mud cake.
Oh, that sounds good.
So you like that?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, me too actually. I really like mud cake. My favourite is dark chocolate, but I know a lot of people prefer white chocolate. And of course, being vegan, you can't usually eat white chocolate. Yeah, because it's very high in dairy, not to mention processed sugar. Yeah. So today I'm going to show you a way to make something that tastes like white chocolate, but doesn't really have any white chocolate in it as such.
If it tastes like white chocolate.
I got roasted cashews.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know if you've watched my video about how to make spicy roast nuts.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Maybe check that out because it shows you how to make your own spicy roast cashews, which we use in the recipe.
Oh, sweet.
But if you don't want to do it yourself, you can buy roast cashews from the shop. But if you do it yourself, you get a healthier and more flavorful result.
That makes sense.
Because I've put like a few spices like cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, and I put a bit of maple syrup, a bit of olive oil, and then I roasted it in the oven for about 10 minutes.
Oh, nice.
You can taste if you like.
If I could, that would be.
Yeah, they're really nice.
I'm just gonna take another
go
one.
For it.
So good.
Yeah. So you make the roast cashews, and then for this recipe we need about a cup of cashew powder. So we're going to blend these in the blender to make a powder out of it.
Right.
Now what we're going to do is just blend it till it becomes like a powder.
Right.
So it really makes a flour out of it. It's like making nut flour.
Oh, nice.
That off. See, we have a fine powder. So it's basically like flour now.
Oh, nice.
But it's got all the flavour of that in it.
So I did my homework before I came today. I learned that the cinnamon will help lower my blood sugar. So people out there trying to look for healthy alternatives, cinnamon is one of the good ones.
It's really good. If you have diabetes, obviously it's good, and if you want to take preventative measures, it's also a good one to use. So what we need is half a cup of this flour that we just made. So that's half a cup, so you can just measure that out. Yeah,
there we go.
Good. Okay, so our next one is oat flour. And what you do, just take a bag of normal oats and do what I did with the cashews.
Oh, blending
You just put it in a blender and blend it until it becomes like a fine powder. And that's the finished result.
That's one prepared,
Yeah, so there we go. That's oat flour.
Half cup of this one?
We'll put 1 cup of this. Now we have, this is spelt flour.
Oh.
Spelt is a grain like wheat, but it's got more nutrients in it.
Oh, from the natural.
Yeah, it's not as refined as the normal white flour you buy, so it's a lot healthier.
Oh, nice.
Because you get more nutrition out of it.
And this was spelt.
Yes, spelt flour.
Nice.
You can buy that at the supermarket. Like all these products you can easily buy at a supermarket.
Oh, that is good to know.
Yeah.
Especially for not so informed people who need to do some shopping.
Yeah, a lot of it's in the health food aisle. So if you look for the aisle where they have a lot of healthy products, you'll probably find all of these products. So we'll put 1 cup of that as well. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Okay. So now we need to make it rise. So we use baking powder. It just helps to make it rise a little bit. So we'll put 2 teaspoons. Now we come to the sweetener, because obviously a cake does need some form of sweetener in it, or it probably won't taste that great. So what I've got here is coconut sugar.
Coconut sugar, yeah.
Have you seen this before?
I did see it in the pasta recipe for the dolce de leche.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I use that in there as well.
I'm just showing off right now.
Oh, it's good. You've learned a lot. So we're going to use about, what did I put? 1/3 of a cup. So we'll get the 1/3 there. And coconut sugar is a lot less refined than normal white sugar. And the other thing about it, it has more flavour. So it actually, you don't need as much because it has a much stronger taste. Whereas white sugar doesn't really taste of anything.
And that's why you need so much.
So you need heaps and heaps. So now is a pinch of salt. So I'll just put in just a bit. You don't need a lot. And salt just helps to bring out the flavour. It actually complements sugar and brings out the flavour. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So you often use salt in sweet things. Just as, well, people might not know that there's a lot of sugar in savoury things, like, you know, like chips and stuff you buy at the shop. It's high in salt, but it's also got sugar.
Really?
And a lot of people don't realise that it's got a lot of sugar in it as well.
Maybe my brain didn't realise, but clearly my body did. So.
The thing with a lot of vegan cooking is that you really do need a blender, because a lot of stuff are blended. But with things like this, if you don't have a mixer, you can just hand mix it.
The blender's always the best way.
I would advise, if you do this cooking a lot, it's probably a good idea to get a blender of some kind. It doesn't have to be expensive, like any kind of blender will do.
Just something to mix around properly.
Just so that you can like grind the nuts and the oats and all of that stuff. See, this is all the dry ingredients.
Right.
So we're going to put in the wet ingredients now. So the liquid,
is this what you'd always do with cooking? Always put dry first and then wet afterwards? Or with this particular recipe?
With this recipe, but it doesn't apply to every recipe. Because say, if you're making a sponge cake, you usually put the liquid first, which you activate with vinegar, which makes it rise a lot. And then after that, you add the flour. So it kind of depends what type of cake you're making, or
definitely for this one, you do dry first.
Yeah, because a mud cake is quite a dense cake, so you don't really want it to rise too much, you know. Whereas sponges, you want them to be light. Yeah. So for this, we're going to use another form of sweetener, maple syrup, which is also a more healthy option than using white sugar.
White sugar, true.
And it's also got flavour, so you don't need to add like
too much of it,
because it's got quite a good flavour as well.
Oh, nice.
So we'll use 1/3 of a cup again. Now we're going to use coconut oil. So instead of using butter, because of its being vegan, and also the fact that coconut oil is a healthy oil, it actually helps to boost good cholesterol. And it's also, you might know, it's good for your skin, it's good for your nails and your hair. And
for all the islanders out there, we know.
You would know. You would definitely know. Well, I was born in New Guinea, so I have a little connection. I have a bit of a connection beyond. So we're going to use 1/3 of a cup, so the same one again. Our next thing is vanilla. And vanilla has a really nice flavour.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. I can't resist.
It's so good.
Yeah, it is. And it's worth buying, like, this is vanilla extract, not essence.
Oh, is there a difference between
vanilla essence is usually artificial. Right. Whereas the extract, they actually take the seeds out of the real pods.
The black pods?
Yeah, and use that, so it has a better taste. So we're going to use a tablespoon, so this one.
This one, right.
Coconut cream. We'll just use about half a cup of this. You could use that.
A spoon?
Yeah. And just scoop it out.
Because it's been in the fridge, right?
Yeah, and as you know, it goes quite firm in the fridge.
I would have been waiting here a long time waiting for that to pour out if I wasn't using a spoon.
I know. Almond milk. So we'll put about half a cup.
Half a cup.
Okay, so that's all the wet ingredients. So now we have to mix it. So you can mix it by hand or you can use a mixer.
It smells so nice. All the ingredients together.
Yeah. Well, as you said, it does smell really nice.
It smells nice, yeah.
You're welcome to try some if you like.
Am I?
Yeah.
Just.
Take
Am
some.
I allowed? I don't.
Yeah. Just taste. Or you'll get maybe more flavour.
That's really good.
Yeah. When I'm by myself.
Actually, no double dipping. No.
When I'm by myself, I just eat this, but I don't do it on camera. Yeah, I can't resist.
That tasted really, really, really nice.
Yeah, so I think these ingredients actually have more flavour, as I said, than if you use just normal white flour and sugar. So now we're going to bake the cake.
Ooh.
So I'll get the tin, cake tin that you have. Like one about this size, or you can use a square one or any other shape. And you could even make it into muffins or cupcakes if you wanted to.
Nice.
Yeah, but today I'll just use this one. It's easy to put it on a tray, so it's easy to get in and out.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and you won't sort of like burn yourself. Tell me how it tastes. Is it nice?
It's so good.
Yeah.
And it's not even cooked yet, so.
Yeah, I know. And actually, this is quite healthy to eat raw.
Really?
If you really want to eat it raw.
Well, there's one recipe I could use.
So we've got the oven set at 180 degrees. So you've got to turn that on first so it warms up.
Right.
Yeah. And then it should bake for about 25 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's like a good old movie or an episode of a TV show.
Or we can make a frosting, which I'm going to show you now.
Nice.
Baking, we're going to make frosting.
Yay.
So I'm going to make a white chocolate ganache frosting.
Oh, nice.
So white chocolate ganache is basically like, well, how you traditionally make it. You get a block of white chocolate and you melt it and like mix it with like coconut cream or cream, actually, dairy cream usually. And then it makes like a nice smooth icing. But obviously I don't want any dairy and not too much sugar either. So I'll show you a different way to make it. What I did, I soaked a cup of cashews in boiling water.
Right.
They've been soaking probably for about half an hour. But if you soak them at least 15 minutes, but longer is better because it softens them. So when you blend it,
it's more easy
it's smoother.
Right.
And it gives a smoother result. Just need to drain out the water. More of these ground cashews. So you need another half a cup. I think that should be okay. Now you could use a spoon just to scrape out the last bit because it does stick a bit on the side. And the thing when blending the nuts, don't blend them too long because they turn into a paste, like a butter.
Oh, right.
That's how you make nut butter.
Oh, just continue the blending process.
If you just kept blending and blending, You would end up with a nut butter.
Oh, because I'd figure you might have to add in something, but just continuous.
Well, probably a bit of oil, like coconut oil or olive oil, and just keep blending.
But you're still at risk of making a
you
similar type butter.
You see how it's sticking? It's already started to clump together like a paste.
So I figured out dessert and also a breakfast spread if I wanted to.
Yeah. Well, I've got recipes for nut butters.
Oh, there we go.
If you want to check them out.
Definitely.
Yeah. So next we're going to use cacao butter.
Ooh.
And that's the fat from the cocoa bean.
Oh, right.
That they used to make the chocolate. This is the fat that comes out of it.
Oh, right.
Because by using this, it sort of gives that white chocolate flavour. And obviously that is part of the cocoa bean, so it is part of the same kind of chocolate.
Yeah, right.
It's just minus the dark part, the bean. But you melt on a very low heat. Because if you melt on a high heat, it can burn.
Oh, right.
If it burns, it becomes bitter. And the flavour is not nice. Because I've done it, I have burnt it. And it's really bitter and it's not nice.
Oh, right.
Cardamom powder. Have you used cardamom?
No, I haven't.
It's quite a strong spice.
Oh, wow.
It's used a lot in Indian cooking, mostly.
Oh, right.
If you've had Indian sweets or anything Indian, they might have put some of that in there.
And what health benefits does cardamom?
Well, actually, it can help to low blood pressure.
Well, that's good.
So if you have any issues with blood pressure, or just want to make sure that you stay healthy, a little bit of cardamom is good. I've got a quarter of a teaspoon.
Quarter of a teaspoon?
Cardamom enhances the flavour of white chocolate.
Right.
So it's actually good if you're making something you want to taste like white chocolate, a little bit of cardamom.
Oh, that's good.
Just gives an added depth of flavour to it. A little bit unmelted because the heat in there is just going to finish it off. So we just need to put that in there. Maple syrup. So we put this in the cake. We're going to put a bit in the frosting.
Yeah, if you had smell-o-vision at home, that cacao butter is just so nice.
Yeah.
It's a great aroma, I think, adding the maple.
Vanilla again, and another tablespoon.
Another tablespoon.
Now we need just a tiny bit of salt. So now a little bit of almond milk, just so it blends nicely. So we'll probably need 2 to 3 tablespoons. So you can see it's fairly smooth, but you can still see a few lumps in it. So maybe we could add just a little more milk and we'll blend it a bit more.
Yep.
Taste.
Oh, that's nice.
Is it good? Is that sweet enough for you?
I think it's good. It's all right. I have a different finger, just in case.
Yeah, take some more.
I'm not a big fan of things that are over. I love dessert, but nothing that's too sugary and too sweet. But this is like a perfect kind of level of sweetness for me. So
that's good. Because I say, if you did find you wanted a little more sweeter, you could add just a little more maple syrup if you wanted to. But I mean, I like it like that. So, yeah. Well, you can eat that if you wish.
Not the middle part. So.
No, careful with that. The fridge, or you can put it in the freezer. But the thing is, you do have to just check on it, because obviously when it goes too cold, it gets quite hard.
Yep.
Now, it's thick, but it's still good enough to spread. I mean, if you wanted a bit thinner, you could add a little more almond milk. But I quite like it thick like that. So your cake doesn't slip around. You just put a little bit, just stick it down. Yeah.
Never would have thought of that.
Yeah, it's a good trick. So then just put it on there, and hopefully it'll stay there. All we have to do is put the icing onto the cake. Do you want to have a go?
Oh, I don't trust myself with it.
Well, I'll start off. So it's just basically just putting it on. So it's best like to put most in the middle and then you spread it towards the edge, yeah. It's quite simple really. You can have a go.
You say it's simple and then somehow it will end up broken.
Yeah, just spread it around so it's sort of even. You can even go down the sides if you want to.
Oh, I don't trust myself.
So there's different ways of decorating. You could put like, say, lemon rind or like cinnamon or grated nutmeg, or you could get like melt chocolate and make a pattern.
Oh, right.
If you want, I could melt a bit of dark chocolate and you can sort of make a pattern on the top.
Whatever. This is your kitchen. I'm in your kitchen.
Put lines on it like that. You can use a piping bag, but if you don't have one, you can just use like a spoon like that. It won't be as precise, but it doesn't matter. So you could leave it like that, or you can just get a knife and just like do like this. And then back the other way. So just go like that across the whole thing. And you get like a sort of like a feather design. So there you have it.
This looks great.
White chocolate mud cake. That looks a bit like the Woolworths mud cake.
Doesn't it?
You could see if you could fool your family with that.
Oh, that'd be just put the plastic over and just kind of casually put it on the table, but it looks great. It looks great, it smells great, so.
Well, we'll taste it too and see what it tastes like.
Someone like me can come in and learn about so many different kinds of foods and you can do it.
Yeah, so take inspiration from Lawrence and anyone can cook, really. So, would you like to try the white chocolate mud cake?
I am very keen to do so. All right.
Okay, let's see what the verdict is.
It's good. All the different flavors, a lot of the coconut, the maple syrup, and the consistency is so nice and it's quite thick, but it's a mud cake, so.
Yeah, well, a mud cake's supposed to be quite dense in texture. I'm enjoying the cake that we made. So now you can go and share this with your family as well.
The recipe, maybe not the cake. I feel like I'm going to eat this whole piece for myself.
Oh, yeah, good. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.